Hello lovely dancers, my name is Aisha and welcome back to belly dance tutorials. In this episode I will continue with some hip drills to work on the flowy movements of the hips. This is a continuation of the previous class, so please go over that before you start this one. And the purpose of this mini-series is to combine hip movements in a more complex movements. We will combine only parts of the isolations and we will put together only half circles or only loops from the figure eights, and we will create new movements with individual parts that we learned in the basic isolations classes. So go over the introduction to belly dance where I go over basic isolations and practice those first. They are described in great detail because we will use some of that information to create new moves. So the drill for today is going to be a one hip loop, so a one hip circle if you want, horizontal one. So from the figure eights we were doing only one loop horizontal, and from here we're gonna do one loop vertical and come back in a vertical manner. So we will do one horizontal and one vertical out and in. So we're gonna do downward and inward. Moving to the other hip, same idea. So we're going to do a half figure eight or one loop or one circle on one side. You finish this, you're gonna go up and over and return. So that's one part of this. So let's put this together. Horizontal, vertical, and come back. Horizontal, vertical, and come back. So this is one hip at a time work. And we will also do half figure, a half circle. It's a frontal circle. So from the big hip circles, refer back to my tutorial on hip circles. But we will be doing only half, so only the front part of it. And we will finish with an undulation, or maybe two, depending on the music, on one side. And moving on to the other side, undulation, and maybe another one, it depends. From here, you can do just a transitional movement, an in-between movement, which I call it undulation on one side. So definitely check out the undulations tutorial. We're gonna use a lot of that here. And I'm not going over the technique right now, but we will be doing an undulation on one side, which means we are putting the weight on one leg and the working part is the other side. So it's gonna be like this side is working and this side is working. So you're shifting the weight. So from the basic isolation on both legs, you're gonna shift the weight from one leg to the other, and you can lift up the heel on the working side if you feel like. I probably do. So, and we're creating this expansion here on one side only. So this, I call it a one-sided undulation. Hop, 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 hop. So again, what we're going to add, hip circle, undulation, and this is a frontal undulation. You can turn your body to the corner if you want, that's fine. But it's a full body undulation, even though we have the weight on one leg. So only one leg is weighted. This is only for support. The undulation happens on the full upper body, and then around and on full upper body, the best you can. It's gonna be a little bit twisted, but that's fine. and then transition, transition, and then start again. Yeah. So we're going back to the first combination that I described. So half loop, or actually it's a loop, but half figure eight, and then over and in, half figure eight, and then over and back. And we will do a circle, undulation, circle, well, half circle, of course, undulation, and this is just a transition. And we can move on to the other leg if you want, or the first leg, it doesn't matter, but right now it looks like I'm on the other leg. So front, here, over and in, front and back, over and in, half circle, big circle, undulation, big circle, big undulation, and this is just an intermediate movement. Yeah? All right, let's see how it goes. One thing, when you're doing these half circles here to the hips, half circles, make sure that your hip goes all the way to the side. So you're throwing your hip to the side in a way, a little bit. So your body is kind of vertical and your hip is outside your body frame. Yeah. So it's not here. So I'm not over this hip. I'm not trying to cover this hip. My body is not over this leg. It's more toward the midline. So this is outward and extended out. And you can add a little bit of a momentum here and switch to the other side. So my hip is out, body is closer to the midline. So it's not here, it's here. And you try to make your undulation as even on both sides as possible. Maybe 2. And then when you come back, you extend out, you go forward, you push out. I'm exaggerating a little bit just for demonstration, but that's the idea. And then undulate and undulate, yeah? So let's try this on music. Before I begin, when you do the horizontal circle here, make sure that you finish this. So you come to the original point where you started. So like in a figure 8, you will have to turn your body a little bit. You go around, but you don't stop here. You bring it in to where it started. Yeah? So make it complete. This is a complete circle on one side. Yeah? So all the way here. And then you go over and then come back. And then you start with the other one. Again, you go to corner, around, back, and bring it back. And now you can go over and in. And the next one is gonna be the front circle with an undulation, front circle with an undulation, and transition. And then you can start on the other side or the same side, it's okay. So let's start this on music then. And hip circle, and transition here. I'm going to start on this side. Horizontal, up and over, and now hip, undulation twice. Hip, and transition, and now on this side. Twice. And on this side. Starting on this side. Over. Other way. Over. And big. Twice. Big. And transition. Start on this side. Circle. Over and back. Circle. Over and back. Hip circle. Twice. On this side. Other side. And half, so I call this one-sided figure, one-sided undulations, yeah? Let's do this a couple more times, and maybe I won't cue it as much. Now you know the routine. One side, horizontal circle, vertical and back. Other side, horizontal circle, over and back. Big half figure, half circle, undulation as much as you want. Come back, undulations, and half body undulations here. Right? Starting again. Other way. And you can play around with the tempo, you can play around with the transitions, you can do little pauses in between, accelerate, decelerate, so change the speed. When you do transitions, try to make them more continuous into the next movement. So just play around with this routine, with this drill, and make it your own. You can add stuff, you can maybe do less or more, whatever you want. So just play around with this routine and try to make it as smooth and as flowy and continuous, just to get the practice of connecting movements and how you can play with using just parts of the isolation and adding parts of other isolations, so you make more complex movements. Okay, so maybe let's try this a couple more times with me and just make it your own. Play with the arms. You can do arm movements with this, or just keep them out here wherever you feel more comfortable, but definitely try to make arm movements with all the drills or any routines that you are practicing. Okay, let's start it one more time. And have fun with it. Yeah, you can smile. You're allowed to smile. Start on this side. I hope you have fun with it, okay? Just keep doing it and just pick your own music, whatever speaks to you. Okay, dancers, I hope you had fun with it. Just practice these combinations or make your own. Just put together flowy movements and practice hip movements in various directions and various planes. I hope you liked my tutorial for today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That will help me a lot to continue developing this channel. If you have comments or suggestions, write them down in the comments box area. I welcome them. If I can address them, I will. Keep practicing, and until next time, shimmy shimmy.